What's up, y'all? Welcome to Mr. Person TV. I'm sure y'all see what's going on with all of these ICE raids, these anti-immigration protests, people in the streets losing their goddamn minds. It's not even contained in LA no more. They kicking shit off in San Diego, Dallas, Chicago, New York. But I ain't gonna waste too much time. Let's get into it.
I'm full Mexican, and seeing all these people getting deported and rioting and all this shit, it sucks, but it's part of the law. If you're here illegally, you will be kicked out. My dad was deported 10 years ago under the Obama administration, and people are not saying anything about that because he's not white or orange. Yes, it was traumatizing. Yes, it sucked. My parents willingly had me knowing that my dad could be gone one day. And honestly, it's a blessing because he sacrificed his generation in order to give me the opportunity to be here and make something of it. He's here back legally now, which everybody should try to do. But if you're here illegally, you got to know if you get kicked out, it's just part of the law. If you steal something from a store, you will be arrested. If you break a law, you will be arrested. If you're a Mexican here illegally right now, you just got to play the game and hide as best as possible. Survival of the fittest, that's just how the US works. I believe in peaceful protesting, but once it turns into violence, that's just too much. If you really hate this country so much and hate the leader and hate this and that, you should fucking leave. But you won't, because this country's so great that anyone in Mexico right now would take your spot. I don't stand for any of the violence, but I do stand for people standing in what they believe in.
Another explosive night in Southern California as protests continue over immigration raids. Police and crowds facing off in Los Angeles and Orange County. This morning, law enforcement is gearing up for a fifth day of unrest. Here's a look at the latest developments. President Trump is mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard members to help protect federal buildings in LA. Now, that doubles his initial deployment. Also, 700 U.S. Marines are headed to LA. The Marines are from an infantry battalion based in 29 Palms. The LAPD says more than 70 people were arrested over the weekend and 5 police officers were hurt. The Trump administration's decision to put more boots on the ground is being met by strong criticism from LA leaders.
Mario Ramirez kicking off our team coverage of the protest, joining us live from the Federal Detention Center in downtown. Mario.
Robert, good morning. As local law enforcement is preparing for another day of demonstrations, we can tell you that the National Guard is stationed here around federal buildings. We're just outside the detention center. You can see them there. This federal building really became a focal point for protesters after it emerged that ICE detainees were being held here. And now hundreds of Marines are expected to join the National Guard under Trump's orders as tensions continue escalating. Take a look. About 700 U.S. Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment out of 29 Palms received weekend orders and are on the way, expected to arrive this morning. And although they're trained for close combat, officials say these Marines won't be on the front lines. Instead, they'll be focused on crowd control and de-escalation. Those are skills that they've been trained in specifically for this mission. That, according to U.S. Northern Command, which confirmed that those Marines will support the more than 2,000 National Guard troops already activated across the area. And late yesterday, the Pentagon said it's mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard troops under President Trump's order, and that now pushes the number of military personnel to more than 4,000, with growing opposition from Governor Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass. The governor calling the deployment unnecessary, saying it'll only inflame tensions. Now, if we come back out here to our live shot, we've been seeing these National Guard troops checking IDs for employees entering the building. The president's move to activate these National Guard troops marks the first time the federal government has done so without a governor's consent since the 60s. Again, they won't be on the front lines with local law enforcement like the LAPD taking people into custody like we've seen. We're not exactly sure what the presence will look like, but again, hundreds are expected to arrive here in Los Angeles this morning.
Now, Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass is saying all this is unnecessary and that it'll further inflame the citizens out there tearing up shit. But I think it is necessary to deploy military when you got shit like this going on. People out there setting cars on fire, vandalizing property. Mayor Karen Bass said herself in a recent press conference that over 23 businesses were looted. Then you got folks saying, well, the ICE agents are putting men, women, and children in cages, separating people from their families. It's like people are conveniently forgetting that coming into the country illegally is a crime. I'm a U.S. citizen myself. If I steal a car and get caught, they're going to separate me from my family. They're going to put me in a cage. Why? Because I committed a crime. All right, this is congress.gov. We're going to have a look at the Border Safety and Security Act. All right, it says here, this bill requires the Department of Homeland Security to suspend the entry of any non-U.S. nationals, foreigners under federal law, without valid entry documents during any period when DHS cannot detain such an individual or return the individual to a foreign country contiguous to the United States. All right, it also says here, a state may sue DHS to enforce this requirement. All right, so again, it's illegal to sneak into the country. This part I wanted to give some attention to here. Under current law, non-U.S. nationals who arrive at the border without entry documents are generally subject to expedited removal. Check this out here. However, if such an individual is found to have a credible fear of persecution, they are typically subject to detention while their asylum is being considered. But what if I don't want to do that? What if I want to bypass all that shit? What if I don't want my claims for asylum to be considered, and I decide to just do some illegal shit and just sneak into the country?
You know what's crazy to me, bro, is when they had the BLM protest, everybody was popping out. Every celebrity, YG, the Ball brothers, everybody was popping out. All the sports teams putting BLM on their back, you know what I'm saying, wearing BLM shirts, you know what I'm saying, freedom, wearing all these shirts. I'm talking about the NBA right now, actually. Where is that now? Where are the celebrities now? Where are they protesting now? Where are the teams now? Why is nobody speaking up? Even Kendrick Lamar made a song. Lil Baby made a song. But where's everybody now? Where's all the celebrities? Why is nobody popping out now? Now that everybody's protesting in Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago, because of ICE, where is everybody now? Why is nobody speaking up? Why is just the minority speaking up now? You feel what I'm saying? Nobody's talking. Nobody's speaking.
Now, see, I'm tired of people out here saying shit like this too. Some of y'all are out here trying to compare people who go through systemic racism with people who willingly break citizenship laws. That is not the same, bro. That's disingenuous and extremely disrespectful. Now, I refuse to be a part of that crowd that are talking crazy about Mexican people, taunting them, making fun of them. I actually love Mexican people. I love my own people. But what I'm never going to do is support you if I see you engaging in any kind of erroneous behavior. And I really can't support you if y'all out here in the streets are doing shit like this.
Vandals target the newly restored mural of Kobe and Gianna Bryant again. The mural, initially vandalized in April, was just repainted on Friday. Now the search is on to find and arrest the person responsible for defacing the mural.
KTLA's Alina Abovian live in downtown LA with the latest on this. Alina?
Hi, good evening. Well, this is so disappointing, especially if you're a Kobe fan, and there are so many Kobe fans out there. Now, take a look behind me. This is the mural, and it features Kobe and his daughter, Gigi. Unfortunately, majority of the mural covered in that white paint. We reached out to the artist to see if he plans to restore it again.
It just shows you that people don't respect, people's hard work sometimes.
Complete disregard for something so meaningful, so iconic. A mural in downtown LA honoring the late Lakers legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi. Vandalized for the second time in less than 2 months. James Ewing works nearby and passes by the mural every day. To see it desecrated is heartbreaking, he says.
It just touches my heart where, I met Kobe Bryant, got a chance to get his autograph just for somebody to, his legacy, deface his legacy, it just hurts me.
You can spot the mural on Main Street near West 14th Street, about half a mile away from Crypto.com Arena. It was created by artist Louis Slow Motion shortly after Kobe, Gigi, and 7 others died in a helicopter crash in January of 2020. The mural shows the NBA Hall of Famer kissing his daughter's head. It was just newly restored after it was vandalized on April 29th.
I don't think it's just random vandalizing here because there are other murals around in this area. They haven't been touched. Why Kobe Bryant and daughter?
The LAPD is investigating who could be behind this. The last time it was vandalized, Lakers star Luka Doncic paid $5,000 for supplies to have it restored. Unfortunately, it's now back to square one.
Somebody knows something, somebody's seen something, somebody should report it. The community has to get involved.
Now, at this point, we do not know what the artist is going to do, if he's going to restore it again. But in the meantime, if you have any information regarding a potential suspect in this case, you're urged to contact the LAPD.
Now, whoever's responsible for that, I hope they find you, put a swift foot to your ass, and deport you into the afterlife, motherfucker.
So I live in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, and I live where all these ICE protests are currently happening, and I've been talking about them since they first started. Let me tell you, it's not getting better. Don't listen to the media. They're fucking lying to you. They're trying to make it seem like Los Angeles is under control and not under siege. It is under siege, okay? I woke up today and more businesses were looted, robbed, destroyed, cars burned, bricks thrown, fucking graffiti all over the walls. Our fucking city is under siege. It is in no way under control, okay? This is the typical left-wing narrative bullshit that they're trying to show you the peaceful side of the protest on TV. Only maybe fucking 10 or 15% of it is peaceful. The rest of it is a bunch of psychopaths in fucking masks and fucking leaf blowers in hand and fucking helmets on, fucking hard hats, thinking that they're going to some type of fucking war. When in all reality, they're just a bunch of immature assholes that are unemployed who just want to bring destruction to the fucking city and want to rob everybody because they're angry at themselves because their life sucks and they can't accept that their shortcomings are simply because they're fucking failures. And we have to fucking deal with this. So in order for this to fucking stop, we need to put in some type of curfew, and the curfew needs to be noon. You want to protest, you can protest in the morning from fucking 7 a.m. to fucking noon, or 8 a.m. to fucking noon, and then that's it. You're on the street, you get detained, you get fucking taken into custody. This needs to stop. We cannot have LA turn into some crazy fucking shithole with a bunch of fucking criminals who are not doing this to help illegals. They're doing this so they could rob and destroy the city.
What a lot of people don't know is even the people in Mexico are dealing with their own illegal immigration issue. Thousands of immigrants from Central America made their way into Tijuana, and a lot of the local citizens refer to them as invaders. Look at this.
Tensions boiled over in the Mexican border city of Tijuana on Sunday. Hundreds of protesters hitting the streets, demanding that the massive caravan of migrants from Central America leave their country. Some holding signs reading, "Say no to the invasion," and singing the Mexican national anthem. Demonstrators accuse the migrants of causing chaos and breaking the law.
Mexico has always been a nation which opens its doors to anyone who needs it, but there are ways to enter someone's home and ask for support and help, and attacking authorities and knocking down barricades is not the right way.
Over the past week, nearly 6,000 migrants have poured into Tijuana and another nearby border city. The mayor says he's expecting that number to climb to 10,000. Many in the migrant caravan are from Honduras, fleeing poverty and violence. And they've received some help along the way. At Sunday's demonstration, a handful of activists showed up in support.
A few migrants are causing trouble, but not all of them. There are good people in this group, including women and children.
Over the past week, Mexico and the U.S. have stepped up security at the border. President Donald Trump deploying 6,000 troops to the area and suspending asylum for migrants who enter the U.S. illegally. Meanwhile, in Tijuana, authorities have urged the migrants to head to shelters for their own safety.
Now, if you're a native of Mexico, even your home country don't want to deal with illegal immigrants. So what are we talking about? And this should go without saying, because you got a whole lot of people out here getting in their feelings, talking about, well, do you condone ICE agents being disrespectful and committing violence against elderly people, pulling them out of their cars and shit, handcuffing children? And the answer is no. I'm not pro-violence against illegal immigrants, regardless of their race or nationality. But I am pro-accountability. Follow the laws of the land and don't put yourself or your family through this unnecessary bullshit in the first place. But anyway, y'all, that's it for me. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you on the next one.